We're here today with Maria Valdovinos, and she's a ballet folkloric instructor, and she's helping our young generations keep their traditions alive by teaching them ballet folklorico. And here's with us to tell us a little bit more about herself and her story. So, just to begin with, tell us, where were you born and where were you raised?
I was born in LA, but I came here when I was 4 years old to Stockton, California. I've been growing up here
Ever since.
yeah.
Now, where does ballet folklorico comes into your life?
At my age?
Yeah, well, how old were you? How were you introduced to ballet folklorico?
Well, it all started in elementary school. There was this group that came, and my older sister and I really loved what we saw. So Mom started investigating places for us to perform, to learn how to dance. So I was 11 by the time we were able to get into a group.
And you've been dancing ever since, and you're 25 now, so
Yeah.
That's like 15 years of dancing.
Half of my life.
Literally.
Yeah.
Now, how do you decide teaching others ballet folklorico? Not just practicing it yourself, but making sure that others learn as well.
I just love kids and people, so teaching was always been my thing. Even when I was part of just the group and learning, I would always have others come to me and ask me, hey, how do you do this? So by that starting, they're actually the ones that encourage me, you know what, you should start your own. You teach better than the teacher.
So how is it different for you to be teaching than to actually be dancing? Do you enjoy it as much, or is it a different feeling when you're teaching than when you're dancing? How is it different?
It's different when you perform. You get the enthusiasm of the public, and then you get tired too of dancing the whole performance. Right. But when you have a teacher students and then you see it, what you have worked so hard on them, and that also is like a great feeling that you feel to see your work out there and having these kids, love it and want to do it. It's very enthusiastic.
Not just the dancing part, but there's a little bit of history background to it. It's not just dancing, so it's the music, it's where it comes from, it's the attire that goes with it. Did you have to learn all of that? And
actually, I'm learning because there's a lot. I mean, every state has their own style of posture, clothing, even shoes that they have to wear. So it's all still learning and process. I do go to workshops once a year, and I still get connections from people that have been doing this for many years, and they help as well and give me more tips on the tradition and what each song stands for, what it really is. So
now, is there a choreography that you have to follow, or can you introduce new steps to it?
Yeah, and everybody can do their own. It's just kind of what you think it's best that works for your group and the age group as well.
Do you have any particular song that you personally like a lot?
Well, so far, I've noticed we have Jarabe Nayarit, that's kind of like our thing. We have the guys do the machetes and they throw them, and the girls, they do a lot of bending, and it's kind of, the guys are showing off to the girls that they can move those machetes.
Now you little girls at a very, very low cost, right? At La Jamaica. Why did you start doing that?
Low cost?
Well, just having it very accessible to the public.
Because I want to make sure that everybody, even if, because there's groups out there that charge $35 to $40 a month. So I want to make sure I can get people that really can't afford it, because those are the people that, most of those students that normally can't get into stuff like that end up in the streets and doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. So that's why I try to keep it at a low cost, so they can have somewhere safe and fun to be at.
What's the youngest age group that you teach?
Youngest, 3.
3?
Yeah.
And how do you teach a 3-year-old to dance ballet folklorico?
You would be surprised. I know I have one student right now. She started when she was 3, and now she just turned 5, and she is awesome. She does advanced steps already. Like from my older group, she dances with the advanced students. So it's just has to be a lot of patience. If the child really wants to do it, you can notice right away.
Yeah, I imagine. Now, where else do you teach besides in La Jamaica?
I teach at the teen center.
And how is it different? Do you have other more kids maybe?
Well, the teen center, it's still like a new project. We're still trying to recruit more students because the teen center has barely opened up to the public. So right now we're working on getting more students to go to the teen center.
No, so how long have you been an instructor for?
I've been teaching since 2007, February.
Oh, so it's been quite a long time. Where other groups did you belong before being an instructor yourself?
Well, the teacher that I used to have currently has moved to Texas, so she's no longer here no more. So.
So is that how you kind of started to doing your separate?
Yeah, because when she left, someone else took over, and that's when I decided that I should just start my own, because I didn't like the new ideas. I wanted to keep what my teacher had, which was keeping it at a low cost for everybody. And the new person that was taking over was, I want to make a business out of this, not the same ideas that I had in what my real instructor had.
No, I imagine that for you, doing these classes and like passing on traditions, Ballet Folklorico is something that has been on for hundreds and hundreds of years. So it's nice to have it now, and that you're doing it to the younger generations. So is it here in Stockton you teach most of the time, or do you go somewhere else in the county
to teach? So far, I'm just here in Stockton.
Do you have any plans for the future? Maybe, well, you have your own group, which is Raíces Mexicanas, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have any other plans, maybe in the near future, of what would you like to envision for Raíces Mexicanas?
Well, I'm trying to focus on getting older people in it. I do have a few, but my focus more is on trying to get a bigger variety of different ages. So hopefully one day we can get our own place, and for me to be able to just dedicate myself just to that.
Right. Now, what can you tell us about that attire? That it's really elaborated, it's colorful. Where do you guys get it? Is there someone that makes it for you guys? Do you make it?
I wish I could. I actually have a few people that I work with that, they do sewing and stuff, and I kind of get ideas from what I see, and then I put it together, and I say, okay, can you make this for me? And I tell her the colors. I tell her, I have my students sized, and then she has them made for me. And some of them, the traditional ones, just like the regular, like Jalisco, those are I try to keep it as most traditional as possible. So those I just order from Mexico.
Okay, so have you actually been to Mexico and seen, those Ballet Folklorico groups that are there for years and years?
I've been to Mexico, but I haven't been there long enough to be able to see groups. But in the future, I do plan on starting even going out there and getting classes in Mexico, so I can learn more dances to teach my students.
Now, do you perform at community events, or is there like a special performance that you put on of these kids that are practicing right now?
We perform anywhere that we contract us. The furthest we've gone to perform is Fresno, California. But we go to Valley Springs, we go to a local here in Stockton, Lodi, Manteca, Modesto. We go around, as we're getting more publicized, we're kind of expanding a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But also for my students, for the ones that are just beginning, I always hold a recital. Normally it's an average about a month and a half to 2 months. I hold a recital there at La Jamaica, so each student can perform what they have learned for that session, because we have sessions. We learn one song for the younger ones, and the older ones have maybe 1 or 2 songs that they learn in a session, and then we just put out a performance for the parents so they can see how their their children are progressing in the performing level, where they get to go and perform outside to actual community events or quinceañeras, weddings. Even for the retirement homes, we also perform there as well. So we're in everything.
Now, how many kids do you teach in total then? Counting La Jamaica and the teen center and other classes that you have?
It's about 60 students.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, probably a little more. I think last time I counted was about 62 or so. But I have 10 that are gonna barely start, so it's gonna probably be more.
So once 60 students complete their course, do they stay? Do they leave? Or you get new ones? Or
Yeah, every session we have new students and song. We start teaching a new song. So even the students that had been there before, they get to learn another song.
Oh,
So,
okay,
but we
okay.
start from basic, and I don't move on until everybody gets it.
And you know, you're teaching 60 kids. You've been doing this for 15 years. Just one of my last questions. So what does Ballet Folklorico means to you? How does it make you feel?
Made me feel proud and happy, and I just love, like how that's why I came up with the name, Raíces Mexicanas, which means roots of Mexico. So it's like I get to let everybody know, how does Mexico, stand out, all the roots of it. So it just makes me feel happy, and it's something I just love to do and enjoy it very much.
Thank you for keeping our culture alive and for being here with us today. Thank you.
You're welcome.